Dre, what do you feel like went wrong tonight to have Maryland score 91 and obviously put up a big win against you guys?
I'd say we just didn't play physical enough. Didn't come out with enough energy. I feel like came out kind of flat. Turned the ball over an extraordinary amount. It's just those are just the things we got to look to clean up.
Dre, obviously you guys have fought some adversity with some guys being out and guys being sick, but what's this moment mean for you guys, losing 3 of 4 and losing consecutive games for the first time since you've been here?
It's just, in life, everyone takes a loss. Everyone has a big fall. It's really about how you bounce back from it, So we just take it on the chin, go to practice tomorrow, work as hard as we can, and get ready for the next one on Sunday.
We know Tommy was out with an illness, a couple guys questionable. Just how's the team been as far as that goes? Has that been something you've experienced, or has there been guys out of practice a lot? What have you seen there?
I'd rather not speak on who's been in and out of practice, but I say this: without Tommy, it's a key for sure that we're missing. But we just got to learn to have the next man up mentality and just come out a lot more physical. Coach said instead of being 1% better, we got to be 1% stronger, and ever since he said that, it's kind of stuck with me.
Dre, obviously a lot of turnovers led to their points. Just what did they do, or what happened with you guys to kind of lead to some of those turnovers that led to a lot of runouts?
We just got to be stronger with the ball. That's it. We weren't as strong as we usually are with the ball tonight. So that's it. We just got to be stronger.
Dre, as a guy who's been around here a little bit, like what's your role in kind of helping guide this team through a little bit of adversity here?
Just keep bringing energy, keep telling everyone it's okay, just trying to keep everyone's heads up for real.
Dre, obviously Tommy is such an important part of your team. What did you see from those other guys trying to fill that void, and how difficult was that for those guys against the team like Maryland with their bigs?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they weren't trying. I mean, dudes were in there fighting for their life. When you got Big Reese and Big Queen down there, it's going to be tough. It's not supposed to be easy for real. So, I mean, regardless of however y'all think they did good or bad, I'm very proud of those guys for the fight they did, for the fight they had.
Dre, how do you look at the three-point shooting? I know that as a team, Brad's expressed a lot of confidence in you guys, but it has been something in Big Ten play, I think 30%. Is there anything that needs to change in terms of the process or the volume, or how do you look at that?
Coach says all the time, it don't matter really how many threes we shoot, bro. We just gotta get our offensive rebounds, So, Coach tells us he wants us to get up a lot of threes, whether they go in or whether they miss. But as long as we're on the offensive boards, then that's kind of where we can make up for the misses. And I don't think we did that too well tonight either.
It's something Coach talks about all the time, is finding ways to win when the shots don't fall. I mean, did you guys not do enough of those things? I mean, what did you need to do when you didn't make the shots?
Yeah, just offensive rebound, like I said, but didn't do it enough.
That wasn't very much fun. Been a long time since the Illini and I have taken a good old ass kicking like that. So give Maryland all the credit in the world. Really, no excuses from us. We have had a just really tough week with sickness and not knowing if guys are playing and guys not in practice. It was nobody played any good. We were just awful. Nobody played any good. Give Maryland all the credit. They, we knew it was going to be tough in the paint without Tommy, and they pretty much just controlled the game from the paint. And they're a really good three-point shooting team, so it was kind of pick your poison. Turnovers, points off turnovers, very uncharacteristic to have 12 turnovers from your starting backcourt. Very uncharacteristic night to have, no offensive rebounds from Merez. We had 2 at half, so that'll tell you where our energy was and our focus, and we just have to be better. I mean, it was just a stinker. So,
Coach, as you said, it was tough in the paint without Tomislav. In hindsight, is there anything that you might have did differently to slow him down around the rim?
let's see, grow Jake 8 inches, put 35 pounds on Ben, have Kerry become, 260 pounds instead of 210. They're a really good three-point shooting team. They don't have a 3 at half. We hold them to 3. You're going to pick your poison. If you're going to double, then those guys shoot the cover off of it. And, would you do something different? I played a zone tonight. And again, that got really hard because we haven't had anybody in practice. So, it's something that we haven't spent a ton of time on. We had 3 or 4 kind of fake possessions that look good. But, when you lose, like I said, Tommy's been our highest graded guy almost every game defensively. He's your brains. He's 7'1". He makes everybody around him better because he covers for all that. And I don't know when we get him back. He shouldn't have played in the Michigan State game. He's been just deathly sick. So, we haven't seen him. Tonight's the first time I've seen him in a while. So, I'm making an excuse, and I'm not trying to make an excuse. They whipped our butt.
Brett, obviously you missed players in the USC game and this one, but you've kind of said they're uncharacteristic. So is that alarming, or is that just because the guys are out, or the sicknesses?
I think it's just guys out. I mean, you get a group that gets acclimated to certain roles, and it's really nice for Merez and Jake and Ben to have Tommy in there at 7'1" right next to him and cover things up. It's nice to have, where we miss Tommy, playmaking. I mean, they go ahead and pressure our guards like you did tonight. Well, Tommy, we just saw that against Michigan State. They tried to take away our threes. Great. Tommy, how many passes and backdoor layups did he give against Michigan State? We don't have anybody else that can do that. So everything gets distorted when you lose a great player. And we were without KJ. We all know how good he is. We all know how good Tommy is. We've seen that. And Tommy's brains are what we miss, along with his 7'1". So it's just it's tough to be without guys. And unfortunately, we've been without them.
Obviously, you missed Tommy defensively, and you touched on it a little bit. You missed him on offense as well. You talk about him and KJ being great connectors. Just how much of that did you miss tonight?
It's everything. When teams are 5-way switching, and they're trying to pressure us. Ben couldn't even get a shot off. All the cuts to the rim, all the slips, all the your touch and goes to the rim. It's what he did against Michigan State. It's what Tommy's elite at, and we don't have other guys who can make that pass. Merez is a different type of player, and that's what our focus is. It's what our offense is built around, and that makes it easier for everybody. And so, it's a big loss.
But I think you guys are in the neighborhood of like 30% shooting on threes during conference play. Is there anything you've seen leading to maybe that number, or is it just a factor of shots?
I don't know. Maybe teams will quit guarding us and let us shoot them. I don't know. I don't have a reason. We've got to keep shooting them, though. But the thing we didn't do tonight was rebound them. I mean, we had 2 rebounds at halftime. And when we do that, we're not going to win.
Brad, with Kylan, is there something that you want to see from him to get back into a rhythm or not make as many mistakes with the ball in his hands? What are you seeing with that?
He's better with KJ. He's better with Tommy. again, guys, I mean, Tommy missed today. KJ's played 54% of the minutes in league play going into tonight. And we've just got to find a way to get whole again. And so guys can settle back into their roles. You know, are we going to win when our backcourt turns it over 12 times? We're not. But we need Tommy. Tommy helps that. He's a great piece to that. You know, Tommy can shoot it. He can space. It changes all the dynamic of what a defense has to do. So, you know, it's a different look. You know, all of a sudden we don't have a three-point shooter at the 5 spot because that's not Merez's deal. So our whole dynamic changed, and so we've got to get there. But Kylan's got to not turn the ball over. Would be nice. I think he's got 10 or 11 in his last 2 games. I mean, just quit throwing. I mean, he'd make me really happy if he just quit throwing no-look passes, because he throws them to the lady in the first row and the manager and the janitor and you guys on press row, because they don't hit us. And he's a really good passer when he just keeps it really simple. And KJ was equally as bad tonight.
Yeah, Brad. Another thing that we've seen in conference play from guys is that your free throw rate is way down compared to.
No kidding.
So anything you see as far
You don't
as
think I haven't called the league office about that? I have no explanation why we played the schedule we played. We were number one in the league in non-league play, and played the schedule we played, and went from first to dead last. I like I said, I've called Terry Weimer, I've called our league office. I am more than frustrated. Casper shot 34 free throws in 4 SEC opponent games. He had 14 going into tonight's game. But Bam's got to get fouled too. That's one thing Boswell's got to do a much better job of.
Coach, what'd you see from some guys who don't typically get a lot of minutes just because of Tomislav being out, like Kerry Booth, Jake Davis?
Yeah, I mean, Jake's been a really good player for us. Jake was just, you know, physically a tough matchup on the other end. Yeah, I thought Kerry played really hard, and you know, again, sometimes it's matchups with Kerry, and you know, I like Kerry's game. You know, he's bouncy, he's athletic. I thought he did a good job challenging shots at the rim. You know, he's my biggest concern with Kerry has always been, you know, on the glass, rebounding. I mean, he had an offensive rebound on a free throw, and no defensive. Not that anybody else did that, but those are things that, you know, guys 6'10" got to do consistently. But I thought it was all right. Draven's playing great. You know, we just, like I said, we didn't have Trey, we didn't have Will. You know, those guys were non-functioning members of our practices here. So
You did characterize maybe some of Kylan's turnovers, but 16 total. I mean, was that more you guys, or did Maryland do something to amp that number up?
Well, they didn't press us. We threw it to them how many times? I think it was just poor execution, everything on our part. I don't think it's anything they did.
I guess with Tommy, when did it become clear to you that he wouldn't be available? And you said you didn't know when you'd have him back. I mean, is it just like a day-to-day? Do you have any sort of rough timeline on what that could look like?
We don't have any timeline, but it is day-to-day, but he is not even close to being a participant in tonight's game. That's for sure. Thank you.